Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of This Is Your Captain Speaking. Really interesting guest on we have here today. It's somebody that I've actually known for a long time myself. We go back a long time, and this person has 15 years of marketing experience across digital marketing. I think at one point you were also a seller as well, Dave, if I'm not mistaken, right?
We've all done our bit, yeah.
Yeah, we've all done our bit. Exactly. He's now currently head of digital marketing at a company called EcoOnline, and he's focused on a global role there. Larger organization, multinational organization, and quite a bit of experience in the technology front there as well. So, Dave, tell us a little bit about what you do over at EcoOnline, mate.
Yeah, so I'm head of digital. So when we're classifying digital, it's kind of, for us, it's SEO, SEM. Social, all things HubSpot, kind of email as well. So I'm pretty new to the role. I would have my background in SaaS is kind of working with startups, and so I kind of transitioned into the role in a bigger company since June, and it's definitely given its different challenges, but really good, I suppose. Yeah, I think it's been a bit of a journey, just trying to get my head around and work with a global company with different restrictions and stuff like that, but it's been good. Yeah.
For sure. So what do you guys do at EcoOnline?
So we are kind of an EHS, or environmental health and safety software compliance company. So based in Norway, the cash cow has been chemical management software. So basically, all your chemical documentation, all your kind of risk assessments relative to anything chemical, basically taking all that information and put it into the cloud, taking all the documentation away from it, and kind of covering your ass from a legal perspective. But that was the cash cow. They've been acquiring companies in kind of other various side industries, kind of like health and safety as a whole, kind of all things incident reporting, all things risk assessments, all things training compliance. So so that's one part of the company, and then we've been acquiring other health and safety related facets to it as well, like crisis management, learning management. So there are aggressive acquisition targets for a year, so we don't really know what's down the line, what we'll be selling in a few months' time.
It's crazy, man. So you're basically just taking over the entire health and safety market bit by bit, right?
Yeah, and there is various there's competitors who are doing very similar things based in the States, but we're kind of we are probably one of the biggest EHS companies in Europe now, but looking to move into the States. We've tipped our toes in the water as of probably October last year, but now we're looking to ramp up with a sales team, an office, a marketing team. So it's an exciting challenge as well.
How many people are you globally right now?
We are nearly 500.
500. Okay, so that's okay. So you're growing quite rapidly, and as well, acquiring new people or acquiring new companies means acquiring new people as well. Challenging. Yeah. That's definitely challenging. Taking new teams on, taking new companies on, new cultures, everything, right?
Yeah. It's been it's definitely challenging. I think it has its pros and cons, right? I think one of the big things about when we're acquiring companies is you're acquiring the staff. And what's been fantastic with the EcoOnline is they've gone, well, no, we took you on. They've proven that they've not letting anyone go if they've been taken on. So that's been great. So there's been some really good people being added to the team. But I think one of the biggest things that we've been finding is the wins we've been getting from an SEO perspective in site migrations. So we're getting all these really good domain authorities just being added on a continual basis. So as well, kind of adding to different sectors of the EHS market. So it's definitely, I'm definitely reaping the benefits of it.
So you're looking at Google Search Console and being like, wow, this is looking pretty decent, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's just making sure. I think our site migrations, we've kind of got them down to a nice, kind of nailed them to a certain in terms of, they're not rocket science, but you can screw them up, right?
If you mess up a domain that's got good authority as well, that's
exactly. Yeah. in fairness, we've been working with an agency that I've been pretty close with for a long time. And it's kind of driving a whole ton of wins from that. I mean, even just looking at our organic traffic, even in the last probably about 6 months, it's increased by about 180%. So, and that's from acquisitions, and that's mainly from acquisitions. We can see it's just direct ramp up of traffic, ramp up of engagement straight after that. So yeah, so from the whole acquisitions, that's definitely a big plus, right?
So you're hitting your number then, are you? So
hitting your number, yeah, exactly. Hitting their number, and hitting their number from an SQL perspective as well. But it's great. We've got 4 on the way. We've got 2 that we've met, and we've 2 that we're looking to roll out in kind of key segments as well that we know we can drive a bit more value in. So we're looking forward to that.
That's awesome. All right. Well, look, let's talk a little bit about your tech. You mentioned HubSpot.
Yeah.
So you're using HubSpot as your CRM/marketing automation platform. You're using different CRM. What are you doing?
So would love to have been so coming from a company that was HubSpot CRM, the whole shebang. We're HubSpot for our marketing automation, and then Dynamics for our CRM. So we're in a bit of a transition phase because the UK team were only using HubSpot and they weren't using Dynamics, but now we're all being forced to Dynamics. So we're one of the things at the moment, we're kind of migrating our sequences and all things over to Dynamics. So it's a whole ton of fun.
That is rough. That is super rough. I don't know how Dynamics and HubSpot play together. I'm guessing not very well.
Here, it is what it is. I'm sure it's keeping us busy.
That's well, I don't know if that's a good thing.
No, it's not good. Not good. Definitely not good. But there's some limitations to it, all right. But we've kind of, it's a legacy system that's been used throughout the company, and just we need the investments there. So that's why we're going to put the think tank into that amount. There's
no perfect mix between a sales CRM and a marketing CRM. In my opinion, probably, based on my experience, the most seamless one that you're going to get is Salesforce to HubSpot. But again, Salesforce also have their own marketing cloud that they're trying to sell, and they also have Pardot that they're trying to sell as well, right? So they don't make it that easy, right? Yeah. Dynamics, Microsoft, like using Microsoft, as a Microsoft user, I don't think, for example, Microsoft Teams is that bad. For example, like I think Dynamics as a product by itself is grand. I just think trying to have that back and forth between the marketing automation platform and the CRM is always a challenge, right?
Yeah, do you know what isn't the challenge is like HubSpot to Dynamics isn't too bad. It's spitting it back the other way is the problem. So just having a whole ton of issues and being able to use like the lifecycle stage in HubSpot, knowing who's an actual customer, or HubSpot knowing who's a customer, is a bit of a challenge at the moment. So being able to use all the kind of the smart content and kind of pop-ups and chatbots like smarter has been a bit of an issue. So
yeah, just for people that are listening, just on the HubSpot front, when Dave's mentioned there are some features within HubSpot that recognize when a customer comes to your site to say, oh, that's a customer, therefore I can display message XYZ because that's going to be relevant to that particular person. Or you can personalize based on the visitor. If it's a prospect that you recognize, the company name, whatever it might be, fire a chat bot with the message within the chat will be personalized towards that user if you've de-anonymized that user previously. And to have that a little bit broken can give a very messy customer experience.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's kind of inhibited to actually even turning it on, because when we've obviously had some limitations towards it. So it's until we get that sync coming back, that's when we can only get really, really smart with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, these types of problems are problems that I've spoke with so many people about. I've seen it, so many different companies. You're not alone in that. I think trying to get that information sync back. So the sync problem is coming from Dynamics back across over to HubSpot, correct?
Yes.
All right. And is it because of the way that the both systems are built, in that the record types are probably different in HubSpot than they are in Dynamics, or is it a problem in the integration, or where's the issue? Do you know?
It's a problem in both, but I think we've kind of solved the whole like records like for like thing. We've tested a few problems, but I think we're nearly there. We've got the 1st of April for it to be ironed out. So yeah, looking forward to that.
So you got 3 weeks. Good luck.
3 weeks, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Come here. How many records have you got in your database? Like, how big are we talking here?
So in HubSpot, we're talking 28,000.
Okay. So if you mess up, it's only 28,000 records that are going to be affected. So.
Yeah. No, yeah, but when we're talking about with HubSpot, they're inbound, so they're inbound contacts. So in Dynamics, I'm not entirely sure how many you would have, but we have our inbounds as well as our customers, as well as outbound cross country. So ramp that by 3, 4, minimum. 5, 6.
Yeah. So you're probably talking 150 to 200,000 records.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are you planning to bring them all over to HubSpot, so you mirror both, or not?
Planning on a balance of marketing versus non-marketing. Okay. So obviously paying for the contacts that we know we can cross-sell to, market to. So yeah, we need to be smart with that, right? Because it could get very pricey.
Yeah, so just on that, isn't it? HubSpot charge you per marketing record, so you need to mark something as a marketing record, but you can also have other records in there that are non-marketing records. They're the ones that you're actually promoting, or that you're not promoting to, right? And they're the ones that you're charged on as the marketing records, correct?
That's right.
HubSpot. Yeah, interesting. All right, let's move away from HubSpot a little bit. What from a marketing perspective, like execution wise, what are you doing? So you mentioned email before. I guess you're using HubSpot for email, right?
We are, yeah. So all things going out to customers, all things going out to prospects is going out through HubSpot. Yeah.
Okay, and other channels that you're using, are you using any channels like outside of email for paid and that? What are you doing?
Yeah, so kind of main stack, right? So Google Ads, and Capterra has been actually really beneficial to us because it's such a niche category, and they're pretty visible in their category as well. And we're just actually turning on Bing Ads cross country. From a social perspective, we're using LinkedIn from a paid social, paid campaigns, as well as retargeting. We're using Facebook for retargeting. SEO being probably our biggest cash cow at the moment from a lead gen perspective. SEO and Google Ads are kind of our cash cow lead channels.
What's the split in your organic versus your paid now? Do you know, like, roughly?
Yeah, so we're talking when we're talking about SQLs, we're talking about probably about 30-30, 30% organic, 30% paid.
And where's the other 40% coming from?
40%. The next of it is coming from. If we're talking about inbound specifically, we're talking about email. We're talking about trade shows. Well, not trade shows.
That'll come back. That'll come back. Yeah.
It'll come back. Yeah. And then from a PR perspective, we're driving a ton of wins from working with a few kind of publications in the market. So we're pushing webinars. We're getting like 7,000. Few there for the 7,000 registrants, 3,000 registrants from specific webinars. So yeah, I mean, I know people are saying the kind of webinars are dead, but they're driving a ton of engagement, right, for us. So yeah, I think we've kind of rode it pretty well in terms of content, and we got the hybrid working, and we've got a few other kind of topics that we've just hit at the right moments in time. So I think that's why we've driven so much engagement from it.
That's it. They're unbelievable numbers on the webinar front, man. You're probably getting a lot of that from organic as well, right?
Predominantly, the majority we're getting from we are getting from third party, right? But we were getting a consistent number from organic, from our existing database. But as that's growing, it's growing because we're getting so much in from obviously the third party webinar hosts as well, right?
Sure. I think like the people that say webinars are dead, right, are the people that offer really bad webinars. They're the people that just offer like demonars, you know, come on and see the product. And you're like, nobody wants to come on and get pitched to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like what type of content, I mean, you don't need to get into the weeds, but what type of content do you offer in these webinars?
Well, the content is top of funnel, right? And it's top of funnel with, so when we were talking, we're always going for 80% thought leader, 15-20% actually talking about our content itself. And that's talk time, right? But we can be shown screenshots to beat the band throughout. We can make sure that we're like, it's kind of insinuating our product between us. So yeah, I think what our challenge is, one of the biggest challenges at the moment, is being able to actually convert and being able to for our BDR team to actually manage, which is that they're no longer cold calling. We've got 8 BDRs, or no, sorry, in the UK is only just in the UK market, there's 8 BDRs. They're all working on warm prospects. They're not, one of them are working on colds because they don't have the time.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Just for people listening, BDR, by the way, is a business development rep. Telesales typically, when people are working in SaaS, so software as a service, or in the tech space, we have all these acronyms, you know, like
apologies. Yeah. And I never thought I'd turn into one of those people. Well,
yeah, you are one. You are one. Now, and even we talked about SQL as well. An SQL is a sales qualified lead. To somebody an engineer would look at an SQL as something very different to something in code.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But okay. Well, look, we're coming right to the end of this now, Dave. Thanks for your time, mate. Like, just one of the things, like, if we could focus on just before we finish up, like, what's one core area that you maybe feel like you're missing in your tech stack right now? Is there something that you're trying to focus on?
Yeah, conversion lead. So I think specifically it's MQL to SQL.
Marketing qualified lead to sales qualified lead.
Exactly. Sorry. Yeah. Marketing qualified lead. So leads to meetings, basically. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build. We're trying to look at any way possible to come up with any efficiencies there, right? So we're coming up with like sequences with HubSpot, bringing them over to Dynamics. So putting the proper cadence of communications. But I think we probably need to be smarter with how we use HubSpot. In kind of the journey, right? So every touch point, how we can actually personalize that best. But I think if I'm looking to improve, like if we're looking to one particular thing, because of the volume we're getting in leads, we're just looking to obviously improve that conversion rate, right, to meetings.
Yeah, man, I think that's something that we're all struggling with a little bit, but you've got a big volume there. That's I mean, you've solved the problem there. When you're working out of a marketing funnel, you typically have a problem somewhere in your funnel. A lot of people have the problem up the top. You clearly don't have that, which is great. Now you need to fix the other areas, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. It's exactly your kind. And then in the Nordics, it's a different story. It's the opposite.
Yeah, it's your home ground, right? It's your home market.
But they're predominantly outbound focused, right? But it's about because they're smaller markets. Generating leads is always a tougher job, right?
Oh, for sure. All right, well, look, we'll leave it at that for today, Dave.
Cool.
Before we finish up, where can people find you?
Where can people find myself?
I'm
on LinkedIn. I'm not as superstar as you, Andy, but I'm on LinkedIn if anyone wants to give me a shout.
Great. All right, Dave. Well, look, thanks for your time, mate. It's been great speaking with you. And
no worries.
Guys, this has been another episode of This Your Captain Speaking. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you again next week. Take it easy, Dave.
Cheers, Andy.